On this type of lake, mountain type reservoir, one thing I love to do is fish a jig. I mean, anytime you have a lake with a bunch of rocks, crawfish is a really good food source. It's a real visual type of fishing, but what you can't see is what's right here out under the water. And these rocks form these little ledges out here. So out here in 3 or 4 feet of water, those rocks right there are warming up the quickest. And I just try to pitch this jig in any little crevice in those rocks, any little dark area, and just any ambush point for that largemouth to be laying. But for jig fishing and fluorocarbon, you know, I love that 7/6 Ark Invoker Series heavy action. It's a fast tip rod, it's very light, and it's extremely powerful. Another predominant pattern on any type of mountain reservoir, or any reservoir really, you know, the crankbait is such an effective way of covering a lot of water, and really from super cold water with a slow retrieve, or when the water's warming up and the fish really go to feeding aggressively. I don't know that there's a more effective way to cover water and catch bass in the springtime pre-spawn than with a crankbait. This rod is a mix of about 50% graphite, 50% fiberglass, and it does two things. When the fish loads up on the rod, it really gives that fish an extra second to get the hooks in his mouth, and then it gives you that sponginess that when you get a big fish on a treble hook lure, you want that rod to have a lot of give in it. That way that fish can't pull the treble hooks out. Another super effective technique is throwing a little balsa crankbait. You can see this crankbait is very small. It doesn't weigh much. So the best equipment you can have to throw a crankbait is a spinning rod. This is a 7/1 medium action Ark spinning rod. It's got a fast tip. This is the same rod that I would use for a shaky head or a wacky rig, but it also is very versatile in allowing me to throw this little crankbait a long ways.